Hello and welcome to this module on the benefits of social media for your business. Before we start, I think it's important to point out that social media is a very big marketing pillar now. In the past, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there were businesses who were maybe saying, oh, it's not for me, and Facebook will go away and it won't last and it won't be around. That's not going to happen, all right? The public, your customers, expect you to have a social media presence. They expect to be able to send you messages and have interaction on social media, and for that reason we all need to have functioning social media within our business. But what's important to define and what this module does is look at the difference between using social media in a personal capacity, which I imagine a lot, or the vast majority of people watching this video today will be using Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn themselves at home. But how do you use those platforms for a business sense, and what do we do, and how do we get it working for a business? That's what this is all about today. So first things first, what is social media? So the exact definition is websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking, all right? And as you can see, if you look above at all the logos, there are probably 20, 30 logos there. Are you going to be able to use all of those in your business? Probably not. But if there are ones that are very effective for you, and if there are particularly big ones where your customers are, then that's where we should be. If we look a little bit more closely at the definition, we'll see you can create and share content and participate in social networking. So being able to create content, that's putting up a comment, putting up a status, posting up a photo, checking in somewhere, that's creating content. And all of the different platforms, I'm sure you probably know, do that in different ways and allow you to do different things. Being able to participate in social media. So being social is talking, interacting, with other people. That's what social networking is. So being able to create the content and talking about it and interacting with people in a social way, that's what social media is all about. So 10 reasons why your business should be using social media. Number 1, it's an easy way to learn about your audience. So you can get a really quick insight into what your audience or what your target customer is interested in. Have a look at their statuses, have a look where they've been, have a look what they've been up to, because the more you know your audience, the more you know what they're about, and the more that you can relate to them, as we know, the more effective your marketing will be. Number 2, it's easy to target your audience. So, we know that our audience is on social media, we know that they use it, and it's very easy to find them. In particular, if you're using Facebook adverts, or if you're doing, to a certain extent, PPC on Google, but definitely Facebook ads, it is so easy to kind of sort of find out the people that you want. If you imagine all the information that Facebook knows about you, it knows where you live, it knows what you're interested in, it knows which websites you've been on in the past, it knows which school you went to, it knows who your family members are, it knows if you are away from home, on travelling or on holiday, okay? It's like a big encyclopedia on each person, and as a marketer, we're able to tap into that information and use it to target. If you imagine back maybe 15, 20 years ago, if you wanted to target someone in a certain town, you might put up a poster or a billboard or put an advert in a local paper and hope that they see it. This is revolutionising the game, okay? Because you can target the people in the area who you want, and you only pay when they click on the advert, all right? You're not putting it up and hoping for someone to see it. You just pay when they click on it, all right? So that's a big deal for us as marketers. Number 3, you can easily find new customers. So as we said, your customers available, they're on there. And even if you're not doing things like paying for adverts, you can look to find people in your area. An example might be somebody might want a coffee, okay, might want a really nice coffee, and they might put, looking forward to grabbing a coffee this morning on Twitter. You can search that out, you can send them a message back and say, hi, Why not come and see us for your coffee? Take a look at the menu. Easy as that, okay? Easy, simple stuff to do. And get instant feedback. So people are able to go on there, and if they visit your restaurant, your shop, your facility, they buy a product from you, they can go on, they can write some feedback straight away. Fantastic delivery, couldn't have helped for any more, would recommend to anyone. Or, you know, it could be, where's my delivery? I've been waiting 6 or 7 days. So it does work both ways, but you can get that instant feedback. And if it is poor feedback, we have looked at it in the past, but we know how to deal with that, and we can interact with the customer and help to resolve their problems. We don't have to leave them waiting in the dark, and they can only contact us on the phone between 9 and 5. Social media is a 24-hour thing, and people can post up there all the time. You can monitor your competitors. So if you want to have a look at what your competitors are doing and what they've got going on, log onto their social media and have a look. It is that simple. Companies like to brag about what they're doing, they like to show off, they like to put on photos. One reason for that is to try and attract new customers. However, it's there as a big pool of information that you can tap into, and you can see what your competitors have got going on. Number 6, helps increase search ranking. So using Facebook and LinkedIn in particular can help increase your search ranking on Google, particularly if you're talking about the keywords that people are searching for. You know, if you're a chocolate shop in Basildon, and a lot of the stuff that you've got going on in your Facebook talks about chocolate and Basildon and the products that you have and being able to buy chocolate, and that's going to help to boost you up the search rankings. You can share content more easily and more quickly than ever before. So what we're talking there, you know, if you see something in the paper, or if you happen to maybe see a billboard with some information, how do you share that information? You know, you've got to take a photo of it, you've got to phone your friend and tell them. There's just a little simple button on sort of all social media really nowadays. Share, retweet, whatever it might be, quote the tweet, and you can get it out there and you can get it in front of people more quickly and more easily than ever before. Leads are cheap, okay? In particular, again, looking at Facebook, it's a lot cheaper than using PPC. If you do want to target people using Facebook, if your customers are on Facebook and you know that they use it, you can target them cheaply. Be aware that is going up, and it will get more and more expensive as the months and as the years progress. But at the moment, it's still a lot cheaper than using PPC. You can create meaningful relationships. So as we know, customers only buy once they have a relationship with us. And by meaningful relationships, you know, we can really get into detail. We can start to interact with people, you know, especially if you're talking to them on not just a daily basis. So if you answer one query for them, you know, that's solving some of the problem, and you're building a little relationship with them. But if you speak to them more than once on there, maybe 2, 3, 4 times a week, or you know, even a month, and you're liking some of their photos and sharing some of the stuff they do, you start to build a relationship with them. And once we have those powerful relationships, that's when people start to buy. Number 10, increase brand awareness with little to no budget. So you can get your brand out there in front of people. And we're going back to the example again, but, you know, if you had a billboard or an advert on a bus and you wanted to put your logo on there, that will cost a lot of money. If you want to put it up on your Facebook page, that is going to cost you $0, okay? So it's possible to get the brand out there, for people to know about you and what you're doing for very, very, very cheap prices. So the big boys of social media, all right? These are the big 3. These are what most businesses tend to spend their time on. You've got Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Instagram is catching up very quickly, but it's not quite in the top 4 just yet. I do imagine that will get bigger and bigger and bigger, because you may be aware or you may not, but Facebook a few months ago actually purchased Instagram. So now Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same people. I imagine they'll be driving up that platform over the coming months and years. But at the moment, it's all about Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. All right, so let's have a look at some of the pros and cons of using Facebook for your business. All right, Facebook is the biggest platform. Okay, has over 1 billion users. You have your own page on there, so unlike some of the other social media platforms where you don't have your own page, you have your own sort of mini web page in there where people can look and see information about you. It's very easy to use, and you can also do Facebook adverts on there. So that's when we use Facebook's platform. We pay some extra money and we go out to those people. Facebook adverts will be covered in a different module to this one later on in the second phase of the online training, but they are very, very powerful things right now. The cons of using Facebook for your business: it is more expensive than, so although it's cheaper than traditional media and print media, it is more expensive than some of the other social media platforms such as LinkedIn. It can take a lot of time and a lot of resource. If you're putting out a lot of content and you've got a lot of interaction going on, of course, you know, you want to be getting back to those people and talking to them and answering their questions and queries. That is absolutely vital, but that of course takes a lot of time. So you do have to balance that up. You know, if you're a multinational company and you've got sort of like, I don't know, 10,000 customers and they're all liking your stuff and clicking your stuff and writing comments, you need to be speaking to them and building those relationships, then it can be a difficult task. And that kicks into reputation management as well. You know, if people are putting negatives on there, you've got to be getting back to them. Because if you just leave them up there, it doesn't look great. Pros and cons of using LinkedIn. All right, for those of you that don't know what LinkedIn is, it's a little bit like Facebook, but it's for business purposes only. So the whole idea of LinkedIn is for business people to connect with each other and to be able to share interests and things that other business owners or people in the same industry might find interesting. Ultimately connect and do business with each other. It's SEO orientated, which is a pro. So that means that it will help your SEO ranking by using LinkedIn. Helps you stay up to date with what other business owners are doing, so you'll see all the things that they're doing and what they've got going on. So it's important to be on there for that reason. You can target people. So if I wanted to find the CEO of McDonald's, I could go on there and search for that job title and try and find that person and start interacting with them. Same thing, you know, if there are key people in your market who you'd like to target, you can go on and find them. You know, if you want to know people who own small businesses in the Birmingham area, you can look to do that, and you can look to target people, and you can send them an email on LinkedIn, or if you've got less than the premium service, so if you're using the free service on LinkedIn, you can try and connect with them, and then once they connect, you can then start to build a relationship, and once they're connected, you can send the email to them, and that's how that works. The cons on LinkedIn: you do get quite a lot of spam, so you will get quite a lot of marketers or companies sending out spam type emails, which people tend to ignore. So if you are sending content and an email in particular through LinkedIn, make sure yours stands out and it's authentic and genuine. Otherwise it runs the risk of looking like spam, and it may well be ignored. It does take time to set up these connections as well, you know, searching for business owners, sending them all a request, especially if you're sending a personalised request. It's going to take a while to do that. You'll also be receiving constant requests yourself that you need to deal with and field, and it can be sort of maybe get on your nerves a bit, all the notifications and whatnot popping up all the time. And then I guess the ultimate con for me, if you're not using LinkedIn in the right way, you can build up a lot of relationships but then not make any sales. But you know, once you've got those relationships, you can put them into your 52-week campaign or your nurture campaign or whatever you've got going on, and help that person or aid that person really to become one of your customers. Final one, pros and cons of using Twitter. So obviously, you know, Twitter is a platform it's very transient in terms of when you log on, information's displayed on your page, and then it starts moving down the news feed as more followers put more content on there. So every single person that you follow, you'll see all of the posts that they put on. Whereas on Facebook, for example, if you have clicked like on a business page, you won't see all of that content, alright, all the time. So you'll probably see around 20 to 30% of what a business puts out on Facebook, whereas with Twitter you'll be able to see all of it. But what that means is that the news feed is constantly updating with new information, which means that sometimes people can miss your stuff because they have to scroll down the page to find it. And if you're busy at work or whatever it might be, and you've jumped on Twitter to have a look, then you might miss the older stuff. But on a pro, it's very, very big. Or like we said, all of the tweets goes to all of your followers. Tweets are very easy to create. You get on, you jump on, you write 140 characters as an absolute max, and that's your tweet done. You know, you can put a link on there, you can put a picture on there if you want to, but they're very, very easy to create, and you can get to the point straight away because you have only got those 140 characters. On the flip side, you can't go into too much detail because you have only got the limited characters. It's not great for visual content either because of the way the system works and the way it displays. You can see smaller adverts and smaller pictures, but they don't show in the same way as they do on Facebook, where you'd see a big full page spread. You only see a smaller logo on there, and also you do need approval on there if you want to be an advertiser. So if you want to pay for content to be on there and for people to be clicking onto your site, you have to get approved by Twitter, which is something they start to roll out to more and more companies. When it first started, it was only bigger companies that could advertise on there. So, you know, Coca-Cola, Apple, these sort of multinational brands. And as a small business entrepreneur or a marketer working for a small business, it was difficult to get permission. It is becoming more widespread, so keep an eye on that. At the moment, you still might find it problematic, but I'm sure that will be changing over the coming months and years. Right, so let's have a look at creating your Facebook business page. You know, Facebook's the biggest platform, and it's important for us to be on there so our audience can find us and interact, as we said. This is what a business page looks like, all right? This is an example one from a place called Getaway Travel, okay? And it tells people sort of who you are, what you do, what time you're open, and then as you scroll down the page, that's where all your content and where all your posts start to go. But I guess what's important to know is that just because you're posting stuff on this page, which we've touched on, so you can see that 121 people like this page. If I was to put a post out as Getaway Travel from their Facebook page, which is what this is, all right, not all of those 121 people are going to see that post. I guess maybe 20 to 30%, so maybe somewhere between 20 and 40 of those 120 are going to see the post, okay? If people log on and they come onto this page, they will see all of the posts that I've put on there, and they'll be able to look at my photos and my videos. But going out to, if I post it and I want to appear on somebody else's timeline, I'm only going to come, you know, for those 20 to 40 people who we just said. So just bear that in mind, that not everything you post on this page will be seen by everyone unless they log on to the page. And of course, if someone does know about me, they can search for Getaway Travel, they can find our page and they can see what we do. So if you haven't already got a page set up, you'll of course need to get one done. Your business might already have one. If it has, I'd still pay attention to this to make sure that all of the things that we touch on are being done by your page, because it is possible to set up a page and not have all of these elements on there. What that will mean is your page won't be as efficient, people won't know as much information about you, and they may even struggle to find your page on Facebook. So first things first, log into Facebook, come over to the right hand side of the page, the top right in the blue navigation bar, click on the downward arrow and then go to create page, alright? Give that a click, and then what you'll be asked to do is to select which type of business you are, alright? So you've got the 6 different options. It's free on this page and they'll be free on the following page, alright? So you've got a local business or place. So that's if you are a small local store. So that could be something like a physiotherapist. You've got one location where people come and see you. It could be a children's nursery. You've got one location and people will will come in and see you. And what's important there, it could be a beauty salon, you only have one location, but it is important to remember that that's only one location type businesses, all right? If you've got more than one location, then you're going to go for company, organisation or institution, which is the second option. So you might have different addresses and different opening hours, then this is the option that you need to go for. That's the best one for you. You could be a brand or product, so you might not have a physical location and you might be selling stuff through your website, or it could even be more than one website. In that case, you're going to be a brand or a product. You know, in that circumstance, you could have an office where you and your team work from, but it's not sort of the physical place where people can come in and do business over the counter. Sure thing, you might have meetings there with people who are maybe subcontractors or people who you work with or other businesses who you're going to deal with, but you wouldn't want an individual customer sort of rocking up and saying, can you help me out? In that case, you're a brand or product. Okay, you could be an artist, band or public figure. So if you are working for someone who is one of those things, then that's what they're going to be. It could be a famous public speaker, which I think would be the most common example for people watching this video. But it could be that you represent a band or someone who's in the public eye. In that case, that's what you'd go for. Then second from last, we have entertainment. So this is the category if you are a TV show, a movie, a book. So some of you sometimes might work for businesses who do launch a book or a magazine, and they might have a separate Facebook page for that book or magazine or show or podcast, whatever it may be. In that case, then you'd be looking to go for that. And just remember, you can have more than one page. You could have a page for the book and a page for the main business. You could have a page for a public figure within the business and then a page for the actual business. So just bear that in mind. But again, if you are setting up 2 pages, it's going to be twice the work to do. Right at the bottom, you've got cause or community. And a cause or community it's not really a business. It's more of something that's going on in the community that you want people to be able to get behind. So, for example, we have a local cycling group where I live, and they have a community page where people can go on and talk about cycling in the local area, but you're not able to use it in the same way as a business page. So if possible, I would stick away from cause or community. Once you've chosen the option that's most suitable for you, you'll be asked to fill in your information as it says on the page. So you've got the category, and then it's your name, your address, county postcode and phone number, and then all you need to do is click on the blue button that says get started. Then you'll be asked to add in some extra information about your business, and that could be anything from all the options are on the screen, so follow it through, but we're looking at things like a description of what the business is about, so customers can see that. It might be a case that you give a link to your website, your normal website, not your Facebook page, your normal website, so people can get on and they can jump onto that as well, okay? You need to put as much information as you can in this section, because this is what your customers are going to see, and the more information you can give them, the more you're going to be helping them and the better service you're going to be providing. So don't leave any sections blank, do fill them in. They're all there, nothing's going to come out and surprise you. Just follow it through and fill in the sections there and be specific. So if you're a chocolate shop in Basildon, don't just write chocolate shop, put your local specialist chocolate shop in Basildon selling X, Y and Z, all right? If you are a gym in Cambridge, it could be Muscles Health and Fitness Gym in Cambridge, providing the local providing the local community with all of your fitness needs, including free weights, resistance machines, and a large selection of cardiovascular equipment. All right. Just bear in mind, I've only got 155 characters for the description, so keep it succinct. But like we said, try and get in as much info as you can. After that, you'll choose your profile picture. And what's important to remember is that it's not a profile picture that you'd use as a personal profile, okay? It's something that will represent the business in the right way, okay? So it could be a picture of all of your team standing outside the business, big, happy, smiley faces. It could be your logo that you choose to use. But what I wouldn't put is just a photo or a face of the business owner, because that doesn't resonate with people. You know, get something on there that represents your business and the way you want it to be shown. So if you're all about your customer service and making people happy, then get a photo of the team on there all smiling outside the location. If you are a gym, it could be that you have a photo of everyone, you know, in there using the gym, looking happy and smiling. Children's nursery or beautician. It could be someone delivering one of the treatments. It could be the team outside the salon. I'd probably go with the team, to be honest. I think it looks a bit better. And I think it creates more of a bond with the person viewing the content. But that's up to you. And you know, but don't just put on a personal picture or something like that, because it doesn't tend to work. Add to favourites, so you'll be prompted to do this, and all this will do will add it to your favourites in Facebook. So that's the left-hand column when you log in on a desktop, and the page will go into favourites, and all that means is that it's easy and simple to find your page. So every time you log in, the page will be there for you. You'll be able to use it and see it there. You don't want to sort of have to log in and search for it every time, and just click on add to favourites on that green box there. That's all you've got to do to add it to favourites. You can skip it if you want, but I'd probably put it in there so it's easy to find. And just touching on those profile pictures again, just as we said, you know, they're not personal photos. Just keep them relevant to the business. Next step, which is step 8, you'll be asked to customise the page, okay? And what that means, you can drag and drop things where you want them to be. So just on this page, we've got the blue circles, for example. So we've got the likes, so you could have that displayed there. You could move it around the page. Personally, I'd always have the map at the top with the opening times and the contact number, because that's what people tend to look for. And then I'd have the post, so like where it says Boogie on here, I'd have that going down the right-hand side of the page. You can add things, some of them do cost more. So if you do want to be displaying certain links to your pages, then they do cost. We'll cover that up in stage 2, because at the minute we're just looking at getting you set up with a page, and that's what we want to do, is just have a page there that's functioning and that people can come and look at and see. Don't worry too much about any sort of integration or extra content at the minute. Just concentrate on getting the free things on. So the map will be on there. Just make sure it's at the top in the right place. Make sure you've got your content going down the right hand side of the page. Get some photos on there as well that people can look at and see, and we'll be pretty much set. Okay, and that's the end really of setting up your Facebook page. Have a go at it. If you do get stuck, you can of course give us a shout, and we'll be able to support. But whichever social media platform you're going down, we've just looked at Facebook there, but if you do choose to go down LinkedIn or looking at Twitter as well, try and remember those principles, and in particular, before setting up the social media, think about the time, resources and audience. Alright, so time is, how much time is it going to take for you to manage those platforms effectively? Alright, if you've got lots of jobs to do in the business, and you can only allocate 2 hours a week to social media, then you don't want an all singing, all dancing, lots of comments, lots of content going on, because you're not going to be able to manage that. Maybe you just want to get out 4 or 5 posts a week, just sort of letting people know that you're there, building some relationships with them, giving some interesting and relevant content, because there's no point just putting a sales message on there all the time, because that will put people off. It's called social media for a reason. Alright, it's social, and it's about building relationships with people and giving free advice and being part of the community. It's not, you know, whichever social media route you choose to go down, is most definitely not about just popping up a sales message and just saying special offer, buy this, come and see this, we've got this going on, because that's going to put people off. And if they have already liked your page, they're going to get fed up and they're going to leave it. If they haven't yet liked it, the odds of them logging in and liking it are going to be significantly decreased if you're putting up that, that type of content. Resources, so what resources are you going to need? So do you want to put a photo on there every single time you put a post? You're going to need a hell of a lot of photos to be able to do that. Do you want to be putting a video library up there? You're going to need the actual video library. How much time is that going to take to film and get set up, okay? And then think about the audience. If the audience aren't on LinkedIn or Facebook, then what's the point in using that platform? You know, if you're looking for people to come and use your beauty salon, LinkedIn's not going to be the best for you because that's for business owners and people that do business. If you're looking to do a high-end corporate deal, Facebook's not going to be for you because Facebook's more of a social platform where friends connect rather than businesses. So to bear that in mind and remember that the content that you're doing needs to interact with your audience. And whatever you are putting out there, it needs to reflect your company with the right voice and the right tone, because you're giving people a feel for the company and what you're all about. So if your company's fun and funky and a bit out there, then putting loads of formal language on there and detailed paragraphs is not what your company's about, and you're not representing it in the right way. So think about if your brand was a person, what kind of personality would they have? Would they be shy and retiring, just chirping up with information when it's really, really essential? Would they be outgoing and friendly and trying to do everything they can for their customers, so you get content going all the time and you're really friendly and you get back to people as soon as you can? You know, think about that personality, that if your brand was a person, what would you like them to be about? What would the relationship be with the customer be like? Would it be formal and you only speak once a month and you only meet up and discuss things when need be? Would it be that you have more of a social relationship and people can contact you whenever they need to? Think about that and how you want the company to be perceived. Are there any companies that have similar personalities to you? If so, are you going to do something to differ from that, or are you going to have a look at what they're doing and look at their best ideas and use them for yourself? Bear that in mind. And how do you want customers to think about your company? Most importantly, the message that you're putting out there and the way you put it is going to influence how people think about your company. If you are a solicitor and you're putting sort of lol and OMG and stuff in your statuses, are you going to reflect as a trustworthy, formal solicitor or lawyer? Probably not. So if you're working for one of those companies, you need to be using more formal language, because people want trust from you. They want to know that you're going to, you know, you're highly educated and you're going to do the right things for them. So consider that and how people will think about the company. Also think about what the strategy is going to be. So, you know what you want to say and how you want to say it, but you need to have the right content. You need to think about how frequently you can deliver it. You need to think about the timing of when you deliver it. So having content is, you know, having things lined up that you can produce. Is it that you're just going to go on and type a status, or is it that you're going to research something that you think would be beneficial for your audience? You know, are you going to find some other articles that could be interesting and then disseminate them around your audience? Are you going to produce your own content, so a free how-to guide or a free video, and then send that out to your audience? But also, when's it going to go? When is the ideal frequency? Are you going to get more people sitting at night time, so it needs to go at night? Are you going to get more people sending it or seeing it early in the morning, so we go out early in the morning? And timing is all about getting back to people as well as sending out your stuff. So, you know, if someone does put something on there, if someone leaves a comment or sends you an inbox, how quickly do you get back to them? Do you get back to them straight away and you've always got notifications coming through? Or is it the case that you need to look at having an hour every 2 or 3 days to get back to people? And you know, how is that timing going to reflect on the business? And frequencies, how often are you sending stuff out? So we could send stuff 8 times a day, but people are going to get annoyed if they keep seeing us pop up in their newsfeed. Once a day could work well, as long as the stuff's relevant and interesting. You could be doing stuff just once a week, but is that going to get you enough traction and enough interest going on for your product in the market? So think about all of those things before you start. You know, don't just jump on and and throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. You need to have it thought out and have a strategy. Examples of photo and video. So ASOS one is quite interesting because they've not just put a picture up of some clothes that they're selling. They've put a picture of an emoji, and they said that today I found out that the emoji was a high five and not a person praying. And you might be thinking, why would they put that up? Okay, it's because they want to be social. They want to speak to people and look at all the comments and shares and likes that they've got going on from this, all right? And then that's then put them forward in front of more people. They're seen as being a social, friendly company, and that's what it's about, all right? It doesn't just have to be sales message or stuff that you've done all the time. That's a really good example of being social, because that might be something that one of your friends would put up. And you might look at it and share it, but it's come from ASOS, and people are still looking at it and talk about it and sharing it, but it doesn't have to necessarily be from one of your friends. We've got a video on the right, and what that video does is it announces a competition winner. So it's just quickly been filmed on an iPhone or whatever it might be in the office. Film it, get it done, send it out. It doesn't have to be perfect, all right? People know that it's a homemade video, and that's good. It shows your honesty. It shows that you want to send that video and you want to be a bit more personal. So it's not just a status. And you're announcing to the world that someone's won a competition. You're making them feel very special. And you've also got other people will see that you won a competition as well. What else you can do? You can do a like versus a share, which is what a lot of people have started to do now. So this particular example is from Walmart, big famous supermarket in the States, if you don't know. And they've got Choco Taco versus Big Star Bar. So if Choco Taco is your favourite, you have to give it a like. If Big Star is your favourite, you have to give it a share. And you can see just how many likes or shares they've got going on there. So that could be done with anything. It could be which footballer do you prefer, which team do you prefer. It could be what do you prefer doing at the weekend. It could be which treatment do you prefer. Anything at all that's going to cause debate or interest in your audience, get that done, get it out there, and hopefully you'll start to see some likes and shares. Remember though, if you've only got an audience of 100 people and you send this out, you're not going to get a great interaction because only 20 people are going to see it. How many of those 20 people are going to take action from it? That's debatable. So it can work better when you've got a bigger or more established audience. We've also got the shoe company on the left, just saying, which one's your favourite, and looking to build up some interaction there. 15,000 likes and 1,786 comments. All right, fantastic. So if you've got any similar things in your business where people can choose, get it up. Let them make a choice. You've got Safeways, who have put up an idea for a recipe. So they're giving people information, giving them guidance, giving them help, and therefore becoming part of their community. So you're able to offer help or guidance to your audience. You can do that. What you might do on the back is you might put up a link, and on the back you might have an opt-in or a squeeze for them to get that information. That's up to you. Or it might be something you just give out for free because you want to be nice and you want to do something social. And on the right, you've got something which is quite interesting. What you've got there is someone sent in a photo to Converse and they've decided to share it. And you can do that for your audience, and you can tag them in it as well, maybe. If they send you an interesting photo of what they've been up to, get it up there, get it out there, get that stuff sent out, because that will make people feel special. What we also need to look at is the terminology. I know we spoke about earlier about what sort of language you can use, but stick away from OMG, LOL, if you're a formal professional business, especially acronyms, which is OMG is an acronym for oh my god. Also, if you work for a business where there's particularly technical information, so something that people won't necessarily understand, stay away from that because you're going to confuse them, yeah? Keep it simple, keep it friendly because it is social media, and make sure you reflect the business in the right way. Nearly finished, but what we also need to look at is how to analyse your social media campaigns, because they are like any other form of marketing, and we need to know that they're working. So the way to do that, and this is quite a basic way to do it, but it is very effective, is to set a benchmark. So look at what you want to achieve, all right? Is it that you want to get likes, you want to get shares, you want to get people traffic onto your website, all right? And then run a test, okay? See how the test goes and check the stats. So if you want people coming to your website, check the analytics. How many people clicked? How many people went to your website? If you want people sharing, how many shares did you get? How many people saw the post? How many likes did you get on there? All right. After you've checked the stats, if you need to change it, make the tweaks, make the changes that you think you need to make, set the benchmark again, go in for another test. And that is a big revolving circle, all right? Keep tweaking, keep testing, keep sending it out. Okay, if you've got particular things that work well, so you've noticed that when you do recipes and they work well, then you might want to put a recipe out every week. If you notice that you put things out and nothing, you don't get anything back at all, which may happen, don't think they're a failure. Tweak them, change them if you need to. Maybe you need to build up the audience on your page before you can start sending out those like and share type things. So build up the audience, then test them again, all right? Don't just assume that something doesn't work and that you can't do it. And before we finish off, I do want to talk about building up your audience. So you need to interact with people. If you've got an audience of 10 people, you know, it's not worth you being on social media. You need to get the audience up there in front of a relevant, you know, a relevant population. So you need to interact with people, liking different pages, putting comments on different groups, getting your name out there on Facebook will in turn allow people to see you and then like your page. Same thing on Twitter. You need to be liking people and liking their pages in order for them to like you back. Don't go crazy with it though, because you will get seen as doing spamming. Maybe like 50 a day on Twitter for 3 or 4 weeks, all right? 70 max. And then those people then start to like you back, all right? Start putting stuff out there and getting it out there and getting your name out there and getting your stuff retweeted. More people see it and you'll start to build your audience, but it will take time to do, all right? You won't just log on Facebook and get 100 likes in a week. Also, don't pay for the likes, because the people who you get on there who will like the page won't be relevant for your business. They won't be your customers. They'll just be a number, and you'll never build relationships with them because they're not that bothered. Final thing I do want to mention is a piece of software called Hootsuite. If you want to have a look at Hootsuite, what that allows you to do is run all of your social media from one place. So you don't have to log in Facebook, log in Twitter, log in LinkedIn to run that. You can log it all in one place. Log into Hootsuite, it is free. Just put in Hootsuite, which is H-O-O-T. S-U-I-T-E. Jump on there, get your platforms linked in to Hootsuite, and you can see everything in one place. What it also allows you to do, if you want to put out the same content on all of your platforms, you can do that. So you can just type it in there, whether you've got links, pictures, whatever you've got going on, type it in, and it can go out to all your platforms. And what you can also do is you can schedule the content. So if you want 4 or 5 things going out a day, log in on a Monday, schedule it all to go for the rest of the week. It could even be that you set stuff to go when you're not in work. You know, it could go in at 7 or 8 o'clock at night if that's what works for your audience. So check out Hootsuite. Have a look at that, because it is a valuable tool if you're on and if you're doing social media. Any help you need, please do let us know. Fantastic to speak to you all again, and hopefully I'll see you soon.